Okay, so in this next question, we're going to see two different ways to solve this problem, okay? Because what I don't want to tell you, or what I don't want you to think is that there's only one way to do a certain problem. You can do it whichever way works for you, okay? We're still going to look at tape diagrams, but like I said, I'm going to show you two different ways to do it, okay? So five friends go to a fall festival and they each pay an entry fee of $10. The friends each spend the same amount of money or lunch at the festival and don't spend any other money. Now, all together, you see that word all together? The friends have spent a total of $120. How much did each friend spend on lunch? So let's start with our answer statement, okay? So we're trying to figure out the amount of money each friend spends on lunch, okay? Let's create our tape diagram and let's think about the whole for a second. What could we put for the whole amount? Good job. If you said 120, you are correct. Okay, so now we have to think about how much money each person spent to get in, right? Yeah, so we know that each person spent $10 to get in. So, and we know how many people there is. There are what, five people? So we're going to split our whole into groups of five to represent each person. Okay. Now, if I took my whole, which is 120, because that's how much money they spent all together, I need to figure out how much money each person spent separately. If I have five boxes to represent five different individuals, what math operation could I use to figure out how much money each person spent? I'll give you a second. Yeah, maybe two. Okay. If you said that I could divide, then you are correct. Now I need you to tell me what's 120 divided by 5. That'll tell us what the amount is going to be. Okay, what you say? Ha! If you said 24, you are correct. Yes, each person spent a total of $24. And I'll just move me out of the way. I'm always getting in the way somewhere. Let's move me out of the way. All right, here we go. So now that we know that, we need to figure out how much each person is spending on the ticket in the door and, well, in the gate, and the amount of money they spent on lunch, right? So we know that they spent $10 to get in and they spent a certain amount of money on lunch. Now, we don't know what the certain amount of money is. Now, peek that question mark right there. So I keep telling you guys, in elementary school, it was a question mark, but as you go forward, you might see an X, you might see a B, you might see a C. I don't know. Whatever letter they put is going to represent an unknown variable. It does the same job as the question mark. But guess what? Not only does one person get it, the second person get it, the third, fourth, and the fifth person gets it as well. So now our job is to figure out, and I'm going to move me out of the way again because I'm going to have a bubble that's going to pop up there, polar me. So now I got to figure out what is going to be the question mark amount. If I know that each person spent $10 to get in the door, then they turn around and spend a certain amount of money for lunch, right? Which is our question mark. But you telling me that all together they spent $24. So I need to think for a second. What amount of money could I add to 10 to get me 24? Okay, pause the video, do the math work, come back and tell me what you got. Okay, welcome back. If you said that 10 plus 14 equals 24, then you are correct. Give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. So each friend, excuse me, spent $14 on lunch. All right. Now I'm getting ready to show you guys a different way because a colleague and I, we both saw this differently. So this is the way that another way we came up with to do it. Okay. So this is the same exact problem, and we're going to do a tape diagram, and I'm just going to slide me over there to the right again, pull it to me, don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to start off with our answer statement. We're going to create our tape diagram box. We're going to identify the whole, which you already know was going to be 120. But this is the way we thought about it. Okay, if we know that everyone spent $50 total to get in, so we're going to just go ahead and block out that amount that shows everybody spending $10, right? So those couple of boxes shows everybody spending their $10, which would be a total of $50 spent for the entry fee. Okay, so now we just needed to think about it. If we had $120 all together and we already spent $50 to get in. We need to do 120 minus 50 to get a certain amount of money that we have left. And I want you to pause the video and figure out that amount of money you have left. Okay, so remember, $120 in the beginning, you spent 50. What math operation could you do? Subtract. Yeah. So what's 120 minus 50? Pause the video, resume when you're ready. All right, welcome back. So hopefully you were able to identify the amount of money you will have left for a total to spend on lunch, right? And we know that it's going to be $70. Now, our job now is to figure out how much each person spent on the lunch. Well, if they got $70 and each person is going to get an equivalent amount of $70, that means we need to divide it up between 5 people. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, notice Mr. D said divide, so I might be on to something. But before we do that, we're going to let X represent the amount each friend has to spend on lunch. Okay, so that's my first X, that's friend 1, second X, friend 2, third X, friend 3, fourth X, friend 4, and 5X, or the fifth X, I can say friend 5. All right, now, my next thing I need to do. Well, I already identified my variable. I got it there and everything. Let me move me out of the way because you're going to see my bubble again. I'm going to put me right there. Yep, thank you. All right, now, so I have to take 70 and divide it by 5 to figure out what the X represents. You know what? Y'all so smart. I'm going to let you go ahead and pause the video right now, and you're going to figure out the answer for 70 divided by 5. When you're ready, resume the video, and we will move on. All right, welcome back. So hopefully you had the opportunity to know that 70 divided by 5 is 14. So each friend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will spend a total of $14 on lunch. So our answer for our answer statement is each friend spent $14 on lunch. Great job. So as you can see, this one related to the other one, we just did it a little bit differently. And I want you to see the connection right here as well, okay? It's fine if you do your tape diagram different from your teacher or from your classmates. It does not matter. As long as you plug the information in correctly and you get the correct answer, pat yourself on the back and be brave. Don't ever think that there's only one way to solve a problem, because you just may create a whole new way that someone never thought about. Good job. Please don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to Basic Math Skills with Mr. G.